The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. We're going to take a look at the German DAX and also the FTSE, like we always do. As you can see, these are still in a downtrend, having a little bit of a bounce back rally today, much like we're seeing here in the S&P 500, but the trend is still down. Boys and girls, we are going to start a new segment on TFNN today for our show. It's going to be the best timing indicator of the week, and this week's winner is Yale University. Is it Yale? No, it's Princeton. Sorry about that, Yale. It's Princeton University has taken the name of Woodrow Wilson off of their school there because Woodrow Wilson, being the president way back in 1913 when he started the Federal Reserve Board and also started the League of Nations, which became the United Nations. But they've taken him off because of his racial background and his segregational thing. It is, I think it is. It's Princeton. I'm pretty sure because Yale is the Bush's deal, and they wouldn't let that happen. But anyway, they've taken after the reason why he wins why Princeton wins the timing award. He did this in 1913, folks. This thing has been sitting there since 1927. The name of that school, and now they've decided to take the name of it off. So we're going to give them a big award for their timing of this, so we'll see. Folks, we're up to 500,000 people in the world have died because of this virus. Divide 500,000 into 7.2 billion, and you'll see that this is not like the Spanish flu. I know they're scaring the living bejeebies out of everybody, but you know, even here in Tucson, folks, they're really scaring folks. Our next-door neighbor is a surgical nurse, and she even was telling us that the hospital's filled now, and there are some folks that are passing away, but most of the deaths are up in the Phoenix area. The family, Kelvin and the two little boys, the 7 and the 9-year-old, flew to Hong Kong to be with their mother. They have a little bit of some illness in the family over there, so the family wanted to be together for the next 6 weeks, and so they flew from New York to Hong Kong on a A330. You want to guess how many people were on the plane, folks? 50. That's really pretty sad. And anyway, when they get there, they're quarantined for 2 weeks in a hotel. And when they can't even get out of the room, everything is done with room service. So that our travel plans are a little bit different than they used to be any before, and they're going to get a lot worse. The thing is, this is not over, but they are scaring the heck out of us. So if you try to do a little bit of social networking or distancing and wear your mask and stuff, you know, to try to protect other people and stuff, we'll get through this eventually. But frankly, something is different with this, folks. This is not what it seems. I don't know if it'll ever come out in my lifetime what happened, but I don't believe what they're telling us is what is true. But heck, I'm a conspiracy theorist from the get-go, so I'm still believing that well, let's move on to the next one. Okay. Folks, we have another pattern. I haven't shared this with anybody, but I think this is probably one of the best patterns I've ever seen. We owe this to our good friend Rich Anderson, and it just formed in the S&P. We want to get this up here. The folks can see it here today. This is known. Thanks a lot, Mr. Z. Let's take a look here. This is the very famous, first time ever seen before here at TFNN or any other show. It's called the squirrel pattern. And as you can see here, this is, as you can see how it draws out with the moving averages. And you'll notice here, the key is, you'll see where the squirrel's nose is right here. When that squirrel sneezes, that means the market's going to come down. So the squirrel is ready to sneeze. So the question is, when is he going to sneeze? We don't know that, but you know what? Nobody else does either. Yes, you're right. It is a hoax, that's for sure. Anyway, yeah, he is looking for nuts, and he's here in Tucson looking for one. Oh, I think he's ringing the doorbell right now. Okay. Oh, I love that movie, The Parallax View. Gosh, that was a great movie with Warren Beatty. Oh, that was such a great movie. You knew how it was going to end, but it was still pretty cool. There's been a couple of offshoots of that, as I recall, but a super movie. Oh, one of the questions someone dropped me in the mail: who was my favorite movie star that I got to be friends with? Well, hands down, it was Ty Andrews, because he treated me like his son, and I mean we were extremely close. But there were other guys that I like to know. Robert Wagner, RJ was a friend that I knew, and Don Adams. I played poker and saw him at the track. Went to dinner at his house a few times, it just, I don't know, just a few people. I mean, I was just lucky, folks. I just stumbled into that stuff. I'm not interested in kibitzing with those things. And meeting Ricky Nelson. We had Ricky Nelson come to the house in 1980 and sing happy birthday and stuff. And he brought up his buddy who was a magician, and he spent 3 hours at the party. So, those are just little fun things that I did, but, gosh, I was just pretty much lucky. Hey, I tell you, I have to tell you, one of the funniest things that ever happened at the track was there was a character actor, Richard Jekyll. He was a really incredible gymnast. He was in the Dirty Dozen and so many other things. I never met Bob Hope. I saw him in Drexel's office a few times, but I never met him. But Richard Jekyll was an incredible gymnast, and we were at the track one day, and it was raining like heck. I remember it, and Vince Edwards was there, and they were arguing with Jekyll of whether he could do a flip, complete body flip. And he was an incredible actor. He was about 60 at the time, so he was not a young kid. And Walter Matthau was there, and he said, "I'll bet him $1,000." He says that he can't do a flip, and he said, "Well, yeah, I think I can do it." And so Vince Edwards bet Walter Matthau $1,000 that Jekyll could do a flip, and by golly, he did it. He just jumped, flipped over, unbelievable, and so he paid the $1,000. The funny part was Walter Matthau told Vince Edwards, "Good luck on collecting the money." So there you have it, boys and girls. Let's move on here to the markets. I'm getting too much of a... Well, by the way, we have Norman, calls it like the minute, today, will be our guest, and we'll have Dr. David Paul tomorrow. And then Wednesday, I'm trying to get somebody for Wednesday and Thursday. Hopefully, Bill Meridian will be on either Wednesday or Thursday. Friday, of course, is the 4th of July holiday. That is one of the days, the day before a holiday, it has a high percentage, better than 70%, that the market should close higher on Thursday going into the holiday on Friday. And if it doesn't, that's a very, very bad sign. So remember that. That's pretty interesting. So we got a break coming up here in just a second, and we'll try to get to some of these other markets that we're looking at here this morning, and then we'll go from. Remember, folks, we have to pay very close attention to these commodity markets because they are flat out melting down. I mean, talk about non-inflationary things. This is really pretty sick what's going on in wheat, corn, meal, and some of these other things. That's really, it's really, really important to do this thing. So that's it, 877-927-6648.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, I posted a chart that Mr. Z sent out to the folks the other day when we were making this head and shoulders pattern in the Nasdaq, and as you can see, it started to work in the right direction. What I thought I'd do today is to maybe expand on this a little bit to show the definition of what the real and of course Mr. Z has marked it out on a swing basis, absolutely perfectly. But I thought what we might do is to look at the whole head and shoulders on a timing basis. Now, if you'll notice your left shoulder over there on the 19th, the head comes in on the 23rd. Remember, folks, this is a hourly chart. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see that the right shoulder is exactly equal to the left shoulder. That's the first definition of the head and shoulders. It should have that. It could also be lower, but it shouldn't be higher. It could be, but that's not as accurate as if it's either lower or the same price. And also the time. Now, watch this. This is what's really interesting. And when you add this to it, it really brings a lot of clarity to it. So all I'm going to do now is to get this up here to take a quick look at it, and you'll see that the distance between the shoulder and the head and the shoulder is equal, and they're at the same price. Now, that defines what a true head and shoulder is. Now, if you add the ABCD from the head down to the shoulder, it says we're going to be down to around 9,700, sometime today or tomorrow, if that's going to happen. So let's keep in mind that these patterns sometimes fail, but at least it's working, in the right direction. That's the main thing to pay attention to. Folks, I had some comments Friday about I posted the AI thing for gold, and it happened to hit right exactly on the exact low, and it had a heck of a move of $2,500, and people were asking about it. Basically, I've been working on this for a long time. It's an artificial intelligence neural network program What it does is it looks at the market in time, has nothing to do with price, zero to do in price. It's all based on time. We bought a MIPS computer, which a MIPS means millions of integrations per second. That's how much it studied the markets, and it would study the markets over a period of 60 days, 30 days, 40 days. And we found that if you did it over 3 days, you got your best fits for picking when you think you could be looking at either the high or low of the day. Now, Friday happened to be a spectacular day because the gold did exactly what it was supposed to be doing. And last night, and I'm just going to bring this forward because I'm going to show you what I'm thinking about here. This is the gold last night, you'll see right around 4 o'clock in the morning. We were expecting the low between 4 and 4:30. We had a pretty good bounce there in the gold, and we'll just move on to see what happened to it afterwards. We'll get this up here, and you'll be able to see that the market did have a pretty nice rally, and we went all the way up to we rallied about $10, and then we came right back down and made another new low at 1775, and that's a very, very important low at 1775, folks. That gold cannot get below 1775. If it gets below that, it's in big trouble. But if it can go out of here, it could be very, very bullish. You don't want to be short that gold if it gets into new high ground, because it has legs, to do that. This was the thing last night. I sent this out in a video to watch the price of 1777, and last night's low was 1776.80. We're now trading around 1782. So as long as we don't, I think it is, but I don't know the last price. Let's just double check it here, see where we are. We are at 1781.5, close enough, but that's what we're paying attention to. So keep that in mind as you're looking at some of these, because it's all based on probability, and but when they work incredibly well. Let me just show you one last night that was really quite nice, and that was here in the crude oil. And as you can see, crude oil has already started down today from that area of 39.12, also being a nice fib point. So what you try to do is you line these things up and put them up there. If you have an interest, folks, and I'm going to do an experiment for 1 month. If you have an interest in this, what I'll do is I'll just write this, Larry Pesavento, Pesavento at gmail.com. And you could drop me a note. I'm thinking of doing a 30-day trial to show you just watch crude oil, gold, and one of the stock indices, either the S&P or the Nasdaq. Well, not the Nasdaq, because that's too wild, or the Dow Jones, one of the ones that I'm going to be looking at, because artificial intelligence is here to stay. But like I say, it doesn't work all the time. Sometimes it just doesn't line up the way that you expected it to do. And when it does, that's when you want to get it when it's working. And it only has a 20-minute window. In other words, 10 2-minute bars. If it isn't working by then, something's wrong. And usually you'll either be stopped out of the trade right away, or you're in a break even, and you can decide on what you want to do at that time. But remember, it's all based on probabilities. Nothing is 100%. That's for sure. It does have periods where it goes for quite a while without missing very much, and then all of a sudden you'll run into a period of a day or two where it just is totally off kilter, but it does catch up. And it's based on, basically what it is, folks, it's based on time vibrations over a period of the last 3 days. We tested everything from 60 days on in, and it's actually the last 3 days gives you the best predictive value of what's going to happen. Remember, you're looking at 2-minute bars, so it does do a pretty good job when you're looking at it. So that's the key to paying attention to. Someone's asked me a question about the long-term. What do you mean by long-term? The next couple of weeks of the stock market, it has a bearish bias, but like we say, this could change in a minute. If we get above 3090 in the S&P, you'd have to change your mind on this. But right now, we're showing a bearish bias because the market has been down. All we did last night is we opened 20 handles lower, and then we rallied another 20 handles. So that's normal for this. But if we get above 30.90, that would say there's something wrong with the bearish picture. But right now, that pattern that Mr. Z posted, that in the Nasdaq, which is the leader, and when the leader gives up, that's when you want to be looking at something that is giving you some inside information. And that's what you're doing as a technician, is you're looking for information from the charts that says, something's different. So if the leaders are not leading anymore, who's going to lead the market up? It's certainly not going to be the banking index. They're in a big trouble. It could be the healthcare, because, if you can charge $2,300 for a COVID vaccine or whatever they're going to get, who knows? But fact is, folks, we've only lost it's a lot of 500,000 people out of 7.2 billion. But compared to the Spanish flu, this is really not very bad as of yet. Maybe it'll get bad. But, we've had this now since December. Here we are in July almost, and it's bad. But the bad part is what it's doing to the people financially, folks. I mean, we're hearing stories here in Tucson that literally, they're really sad. So, try to help as many people as you can. We'll all get through this together. That's the main thing that you want to do. I posted something this morning here when we first got started. We'll be right back with Norm Winsky, 877-927-6648.
Larry Pesavento watches the markets 24/7, and now is a great time to try out his daily trading service, Fibonacci 24/7. Larry publishes videos and charts for subscribers throughout the week when warranted, and every weekend he puts out a thorough report covering worldwide markets, futures, commodities, and currencies with Fibonacci retracement levels, possible trading setups and zones, and stops and targets for all recommendations included. Larry applies the principles he's developed over decades of trading while analyzing a variety of markets for subscribers. To see for yourself the types of videos, charts, and analysis that Larry provides for his subscribers, sign up for Fibonacci 24/7 today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. You'll also gain instant access to Larry's archived subscriber webinar from earlier this year. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today. If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I believe we have Norm Winsky from Astro Trend down in Florida. You staying safe down there, partner?
Yes, sir, Larry.
You've got the mic. Continue, please.
I appreciate it. Okay, folks. Well, I was originally scheduled a couple weeks ago to be on the June 17 show, but Larry got called away by Chairman Powell there at the Fed. He needed to consult with Larry on how to run the Fed and so forth. So we didn't get to do that. So I'm going to get in the time machine now and go back. And we didn't get to review what I said back on the 4th of June. So we had a bit close to the afternoon of the 5th with Venus at 15 minutes apart. We had Venus at 0 south latitude. As the folks have been listening to me in the past know that when the planets get to 0 latitude, that's one of my top things. And so that we'll be watching for the planet and the markets associated with Venus, which are cattle, copper, cotton. Stocks do respond to everything, sugar and wheat. Then we also had a lunar eclipse like 15 minutes later, and this was all about 3:15 in the afternoon. Almost all your commodities were closed by then, except for the only thing open and trading then was the stock market. And so I categorize things in 3 time slots, AM, PM, or after the close. So for the most of the commodities, it's after the close, overnight kind of thing. So we'll be looking at the openings the next day. So there's your full moon, and we round up the usual suspects for a full moon lunar eclipse. And we had your financials, grains, precious metals, and I'm not going to bother with those today. Save time, and because nobody trades them. Mars that weekend, that was a Friday. Mars went into Aquarius, and Mars the Energizer planet, and that's Aquarius is copper, and of course then we look at stocks. All right, let's go zip through these fast, and then we'll bring you up to current time. Okay, here's your Venus thing here with cattle right there on the opening of the 8th. Monday was the 8th, Friday was the 5th, and you can see there you were close to a low there. There's a cotton beautiful. Nailed pretty close to the top there on that cotton top there on the morning of the opening of the 8th. Here's your sugar, same thing with the sugar. Nice top there right on the opening of the 8th. Here's Mars going into Aquarius over that weekend, and it broke out to the upside, and I had a nice 4-day run there with Mars and going into Aquarius. Here's your silver at the full moon. There's a nice low there for the silver. Here's the gold, making a low right on the full moon, lunar eclipse. And there's your corn, beautiful, right on the top there on the corn, on the Monday the 8th opening. And here's your oats, that's a miss. Red arrows are misses, green arrows, you got a chance to make some money. Here's the beans, that was right near the top there on the beans. Here's the wheat, it was a double miss there because we had both the moon and Venus there for the wheat, and that didn't respond. Or you could argue that we were 1 day late, But either way, it was a miss. We had the triple signal here for the S&P. We had the Venus thing, we had the lunar eclipse, and we had the I forgot what was the third thing. Mars changing signs. We had all that into late on the Friday the 5th into the weekend there, and you can see on the 8th we made a nice top. That was a huge top there at, I think it was 32.45 area, 46 area on the S&P, and then it was the down later. And then we had the dollar. Here's your bonds right on the full moon making their low. Here's the dollar, didn't work so well, so that's a miss. Here's a yen, beautiful, right on the moon there for the low. Now, if I had been on the show, I would have told you, here's what's coming up, and then in a little bit, we'll be reviewing these items, and then also be telling you what's coming up this week. So we have Mercury in Cancer turned retrograde the night of the 17th, and that's Mercury is your grains, and because it was in Cancer, we'll be looking at silver, and of course, we always look at stocks for just about everything. You had the new moon solar eclipse over that weekend, and the 19th was a Friday, and that's your usual suspects, financial, grains, precious metals, and because it was in Cancer also, that's silver. And then here's the one I think I was most excited about. It's an outer planet turning retrograde. One of my other top things is when the planets turn direct or retrograde, and particularly powerful is it's the outer planet. That's the big long-term cycles, your Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. So, because they're the big guys, they're like the big ships. The inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, those are like little speedboats. So there we go, Neptune turning retrograde, and so we'll be looking at with CRB as wholesale prices as a factor with that, but we're not going to bother with that today to save time. Here we got oil as the big deal and stocks. Then you had Mercury aphelion. What's that? That's from the Greek. Helios is Greek for sun, and with aphelion, that means it's farthest away from the sun in its 88-day cycle around the sun. And Mercury is your grains, and because this has to do with the sun, we're also looking at the golden markets, which are gold and OJ, but we're not going to bother with the OJ today. But we're looking at gold, and there you go. So here's the oil. The oil. I didn't mark this. What happened here now? This is 2 weeks ago. That's right, 2 weeks ago. Right. Anyway, that's what I forecasted. Okay. And there we go. And then we got that. Oh, yeah. Okay, now I'm going to skip to the other, the future now, and reviewing what I just told you. How'd that all come out? Here's the notes for that. And I got a mistake here, a little tiny mistake there. There we go. Fix that. All right, so here we're going to review those markets now. So we had, there we go. So we had the, here you go. Here's cattle. We had cattle, I guess. And there's your new moon. So there's June 22. That was a miss. Here's cotton. Oh yeah, Venus turning direct on the. There it is. I may have not read that. Oh, I missed that when I didn't read that. Venus turned direct on the night of the 24th. So your Venus markets: cattle, cotton, copper, cotton, stock, sugar, and wheat. Okay, so there we miss on the cattle. Cotton missed that too. And sugar, we had the three Venus markets did not respond to Venus. Copper was going sideways, so we do nothing. That's what the yellow means. And here we go. Now we got into the silver here with the, we had the Mercury turning retrograde and Cancer. Cancer is silver, and we had the solar eclipse in Cancer. So there you go. You had one little one-day top there on the silver, another little one-day top here on the silver twice. Here's the gold, missed on the, didn't do much on the solar eclipse, but did better later on, whatever that point was. Sorry for that. Oh, wait, I got it right here on my, I got a little chart here. Oh, Mercury aphelion, that's it. It worked for Mercury aphelion. Okay. And there we go. Here's the corn. That was made a nice top there. Even better top on the, I guess that's the solar eclipse. Had a miss there on the, no, that's the solar eclipse. This is Mercury aphelion, I think. Right. Corn. You got the new moon, Mercury. Yep. Mercury aphelion. That's the last one here. All righty, we got some music. I'll be back, right?
We'll be right back, folks, after the words from our sponsor, 877-927-6648.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The gold report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the gold report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, JDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the gold report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Direction's daily S&P 500 bull and bear leveraged ETFs. Direction leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The Bull Bear Trading Hour with Tom and Tommy O'Brien. Next.
Okay, we're back with Norm Winsky. Norm, would you like to continue, please?
Thank you very much, Larry. Okay, we were talking about corn. I got my act together here, hopefully now. And we got, here was this first green arrow is for Mercury retrograde. Mercury has to do with the grains. And then we had the solar eclipse there. Those were both good. You had a high right there and a double top there. This was right there and then here. And then you had a miss on the Mercury aphelion right there on the third point. Beans were even better. Look at that. The top 1 day ahead of that high there. 1 day after the high. Usually I only allow 1 day. Got to be right within 1 day. But I bent the rules a little bit here because there was like 2 cents from that high there, from this high over here. So I'm going to give that as a plus, right? I think for 2 cents we can maybe bend the rules, for that. So there we go. Wheat was very good. We had 4 points for wheat. We had the Mercury retrograde. We had the solar eclipse. We had the Mercury aphelion, and we had Venus going direct. Those were all points for wheat. And every one of them, you bought a day ahead of that low there. You were buying a day after that low there. You were selling for that little low high there. And you had a 1 day pop there for that guy. So that was pretty good for wheat. And here's your crude oil. This might be one of my better calls for the last couple of weeks. Neptune is oil, and Neptune turned retrograde in the sign of Pisces, which is the ruling, Neptune is the ruling planet for Pisces. So it's like a double whammy. And right there, we caught the high day there with Neptune turning retrograde right there. Okay, here's your S&P. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possible points for the S&P, and all of them were potentially profitable. You were buying there on that low, buying again on that low, and it rounded up into that high there, with the Neptune retrograde and Mercury aphelion, and then down there you had a big one. Thursday was a big 1 day reversal, up about 70 handles from the low to the high, and then we went back down. All right, here's your bonds on the solar eclipse. And there we go, had a little top there on the bonds. Here's the dollar, made a very nice top on the solar eclipse. And here we go. Now we're doing currencies. Here's your British pound. Made a nice low right on the solar eclipse. There's your euro. Made a low right on the solar eclipse. If you add up the green arrows and the red arrows, I had 21 winners, 5 misses out of 26. That's a little bit over 80%. All right, planets did it. I didn't do it. I don't know anything. All right, there we go. Coming up. Here's what's coming up right now, tonight, the night of the 29th, after AC, after the close. We have Jupiter's going to line up with Capricorn. I'm sorry, in Capricorn, with Pluto, in the sign of Capricorn. Last time I was on your show, Larry, I came on your show on the 4th of April, and I said that was going to happen over that weekend. You might remember you said the hogs are crashing, and they were down 4 out of 6 lock limit down days. And I said, well, they're probably going to reverse on Monday's opening. That's exactly what happened. They opened lock limit down on Monday the 6th, and if you were brave enough to jump in there and buy on the opening, 21 minutes later, you were up $2,900. It was unbelievable. Anyway, so I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but we did have a big down for the hogs on Friday. Anyway, that's what we're looking for. Looking for the big extremes. That's where your best opportunities are. The bigger the extreme, the better. If the market's going sideways, just whipping back and forth, that's not good. I would take a pass on those at a market like that. We got the cocoa, coffee, hogs, stocks, and T-bonds indicated. Also, later in the week, the night of the 1st, July 1, we have Saturn is now retrograde, and it's going to retrograde backwards from the sign Aquarius into Capricorn, so that could cause a shift in the markets, and that could be cattle, cocoa, coffee, copper, corn, cotton, gold, hogs, OJ stocks, and T-bonds. And then at the end over the 4th of July weekend, we have another lunar eclipse, and you might remember that was pretty big for several markets earlier in the month, back a couple weeks ago. So there we go. Let's look at here's the charts I haven't covered yet. Cocoa. It's just been whipsawing back and forth here the last couple days. Needs to make a decisive move here today if we're going to get interested in it. Coffee, if it had a big down day, would be interesting. So far, it's kind of mostly sideways, maybe a little lower. Not exciting, but here's the hogs. It's looking like they could set up for a possible opportunity here. If we had a big down, another big down today in hogs, and kind of repeat the April 4th deal with and then maybe a gap down on tomorrow's opening, that could be a good opportunity for hogs to buy them. All right, here's how you get a hold of me, Larry. Got free classes on the day trading and advanced classes for the swing trading. And I cover about 27 markets on the swing trading, and we mostly day trade the S&P E-mini. Here you go. I'm in sunny Florida, Naples, Florida. There's my phone, 239-594-3939. And Winsky at Embark with a Q in the middle, mailthere.com. And my Skype is Winsky_1. Any questions from the Tiger's Den, Larry?
No, so far they seem to have covered just about everything they needed to do. Well, thank you for being our guest, and we'll have you on again soon. You stay safe down there, Norman, because you're in that age bracket like me where they're the old Grim Reapers there looking for us.
I got a big target on my back, Larry. I'm not going to get into my medical history, but if you go down and check off the boxes, I got a lot of those boxes checked off, right? So there you go.
Well, I'm lucky there. Listen, take it easy, my friend, and have a wonderful 4th of July.
You too. Thanks a lot. Call me right away, folks, so I can get you signed up for the classes I'm doing next week. That's only doing once a month, first week of the month, okay?
Okay. All right,
Thanks
folks, let's just... we'll take a quick look here at the natural gas, folks. We've been waiting for a move in natural gas, and, folks, it has just absolutely exploded up here. We've moved up about 20 handles, I believe. Yes, we've gone from 15. Now we only have 10 handles, so it's not too bad. But I wouldn't chase the natural gas up in here. We were looking at it at probably 151. We're now at 169. We just hit 170. So let's wait for a pullback here to see what happens, because I'm not very good at chasing markets, and that is the understatement of the year. The one thing that we need to pay very close attention to, folks, is we were talking about the trade that Mr. Z was talking about in the Nasdaq with that with the head and shoulders pattern. And if we review this, you'll see that we're very, very close to that target in the head and shoulders pattern. It comes in at around 97. We've been as low as 97.50, I believe. Ooh, well, we got pretty close to 97.20. We almost hit there. So pay very close attention to that, folks, because there could be some strong support, coming into the Nasdaq at that level, because that's the completion of the head and shoulders pattern, and it could really be a very interesting one, if it's going to reverse. And remember, at that level at 9,700, that's down 2 standard deviations, and that in itself is a very, very unusual thing to have the market, do that, especially on a Monday. For some reason, Mondays they have those, and they have the thing they call turnaround Tuesdays, but that's neither here nor there. So watch that number down there. That was down 159 points from the high that we made overnight. So it's been wild over there. 877-927-6648.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that will take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
Bam!
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, the main thing to pay attention to, folks, is this Nasdaq, because we are getting close to the head and shoulders completion there at 97.20. We've been as low as 97.30. We're trading 97.50. To me, that's close enough for government work. So unless you're looking for a total collapse today, we should be pretty close to a bottom here within the next couple of hours. So we'll see, see how it works out. Anyway, that's what we're keeping a close eye on today. Remember, the day before the holiday, that'll be on Thursday, that has a 70% chance of closing higher. So that's something that we need to pay attention to. Our guest tomorrow will be Dr. David Paul, Vector Vest, and then on Wednesday, it looks like we're going to have Bill Meridian from Cycles Research, Vienna, Austria. Thursday, it's going to be a regular day of listening to the old cowboy and we'll see what we can come up with for some things. We need to look at the FANG stocks, folks, because they are looking incredibly bad here. This is really something you owe it to yourself to take a look at Netflix and some of these others, because these stocks are looking very bad on a technical basis. It's very important to look at that, because remember, these are the stocks that rallied us up to where we are now. Microsoft and Apple and some of these others. Apple doesn't look bad, but boy, the others certainly don't look very good at all. So remember that it's not a stock market; it is a market of stocks. So it's important to remember that. Those are from the words of Bernard Baruch in his book, My Own Story. Well, we rallied about 30 handles here in the Nasdaq here just very, very shortly. So remember, that's a very, very close to those completions down there, folks. The low, oh my goodness, did we hit it exactly? Nope, we hit it 97.28, and we're trading at 97.68 right now. So we rallied 40 handles off the bottom. So that's a pretty big jump. So just be careful, folks. As we say in the trade, you have to use a stop. Otherwise, the stop is going to use you. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. And we'll see you, folks, on the flip side tomorrow with our guest, Dr. David Paul. If you have any questions, be sure to call in 877-927-6648.